This Extreme Festival action is proudly brought to you by Comcare Medical Scheme, Dunlop Tires, Ferodo, the #1 in brakes, and Investchem. A big welcome to Killarney, the home of motorsport down here in the Western Cape. And of course a massive welcome to the city of Cape Town, who've come on board this weekend to join the Extreme Festival for the opening round. We've got Comcare coming on board with Polo Cup for the very first time, Global Touring Cars with one of the biggest fields we've ever seen from them, Global Touring Cars Super Cup also with a massive field and some new drivers. And we got an amazing effort coming in from the Investchem Formula 1600s as well. So if you want action, this is where you need to be. Let's go and see what happened and get into the race action for today. Kicking things off with the Investchem Formula 1600s now, and the first round of this championship sees the outgoing champion not here. The #1 plate is up for grabs, and Andrew Rackstraw has moved on to bigger and better things after winning the 250,000 Rand prize fund and getting a chance to go and test a global touring car. We'll see him in action in the season with those global touring cars. But now, of course, looking at the starting grid, incredible to see Gerard Geldenhuys putting it on pole position ahead of Josh Leroux, Antoine Geldenhuys right there, and Jared Weberski the front row. Jason Kutsia, local man who's just jumped in the car for the first time, right up there as well and looking to try and push it as hard as he can. And the rest of the field behind there, including Storm Lanphier, joining us for the first time. Schofield is on the front of the Kent category, ahead of Rick Morris, Graham Hepburn, Ron Van Wheelie, Duncan Foss, and Alan Meyer. On board here with Troy Dolenschek, halfway through this pack, and he's going to be pushing hard to try and get off the line. Local man with some local knowledge, and he's got off the line nicely. Puts the wheel on the dirt, though, coming down towards turn 1, swapping from left to right. Oh, cutting across a couple of noses there. Siabonga Munkankwana just ahead of him, but a great start from the Geldenhuys boys as they're going to turn 1. Oh, and wings are flying already as they come out of turn 1. Somebody losing a wing there. Looks like that's possibly going to be one of the black cars involved in that one. A bit further down there, of course, that could possibly be Antoine Geldenhuys who came to grips with that one. We're on board with Hepburn as we go down towards turn 2. Josh Leroux looking very good at the moment, starting things out at the front end, but almost instantaneously being outgunned there by Geldenhuys as he squeezed him out. So Geldenhuys leads out. Dolenschek up into a good position after that great start off the line. We're on board with him. You can see just how hard he pushed to get through that big pack of cars. Munkankwana at the back of the field at the moment. The race driver SA car just having a little bit of niggles. And speaking of niggles, Ron Van Wheelie's off. The magnificent paint and hardware Ford is off, unfortunately, and parked on the sideline. Looks like he'll be able to get back and going again. Change up it again at the front, and it is a big move there from Leroux, who moves up ahead of Geldenhuys, and Geldenhuys has got huge pressure coming from Weberski. Weberski also with a good start. Antoine starting to feel the pressure there from Van Wheelie as we get into the grips here and complete the first lap in anger. Can you believe it? It's only one lap and they're already at each other's throats. Weberski right up against the wall there, trying to find a way through, using that slipstream effect, but not quite to the best of his abilities, and he's opened up the door. That could be an opportunity. Oh, and there's a touch! Yes, Anton Geldenhuys and Weberski touching wheels. You don't want to do that in single-seaters, boys. That can end up in tears. Anton Geldenhuys tipping the back left there, and very, very lucky to survive that one. Running wide in the background. Looks like a little bit of chopping and changing there, and looks like a little bit of issues there as well in the mid-pack for Delon Thompson. Also making a welcome return to single-seaters for the very first time. And he joins this pack of extremely talented youngsters that have moved in from karting, come from other single-seater championships, and now in full effect looking for an opportunity to win out this prize fund. We're on board once again with Dolenschek. Dolenschek pushing hard. It was Holzhausen who's just ahead of him. Holzhausen was the man who lost the wing in that first corner, and you can see it might be affecting him ever so slightly. Dolenschek looking for an opportunity now to try and go boss. Can he find a way through as they get onto the back straightaway? It's a fantastic run here so far from Josh Leroux. He hangs on. Geldenhuys is second. Weberski is third. Geldenhuys is 4. Behind that comes Van Wheelie. Closing down on Van Wheelie. Jason could see a first time out for him. Also in this category. He's going to have a busy season. He's got some saloon car action and some single-seater action that he has to get through. Saloon cars on the local championship down here in the Western Cape and nationally in this Formula 1600 category. And a bit of a change-up as well. Look at that. Is that... yes, it is. Weberski is through. Weberski has got through on Gerard Geldenhuys. Geldenhuys now with his brother right on his tail. The two boys are going to be pushing hard to get back at Weberski and possibly spoil the day there for Josh Leroux. Leroux controls things at the moment, but Weberski is putting big pressure onto him. Geldenhuys boys there looking to pounce if anything goes wrong with those first two cars. Further back in the pack there, that is the number 13 Storm Lanphier. First time out for him in a single-seater as well, coming from karting. Great to see these youngsters stepping up with the race driver SA team and coming through the ranks. This is what Anton Geldenhuys' point of view is, down that back straightaway. Getting to 220 odd k's an hour before they climb on the anchors and go around into Cape Town corner. High side from Weberski going on the outside line there. Oh, it is a touch! Oh, I thought that might not happen. He tried to turn in there on Josh Leroux, and Josh Leroux was holding his line. And unfortunately, the two of them coming together, a little tap, exactly what we spoke about earlier on. You cannot afford to titch wheels in these single-seaters. It'll be very, very costly. And at this point in time, the biggest cost there, of course, is Weberski, who's now buried himself into the kitty litter. He's not been able to get back onto the circuit, and the rest of the field comes streaming through to complete another lap. So Weberski's out of this one. Further back in this pack, that's Schofield in the Fly SAF Air car, having a super run, having a bit of a fight there as well. Great to see there with Siabonga and with Shren Naidu. Shren Naidu, also a new man to the series. Fantastic to see some new competitors. This is what it looked like from Muberski's point of view. Going down into Cape Town corner. And Fostron, of course, are the sponsors of this corner. You'll see the touch there. Lifts up the back and he slides into the kitty and into the dust. Tries to get it going. He actually stalled the car. This is LaRue's point of view as well. Inside. Oh, LaRue actually got a little bit out of shape there. So it could have possibly been a little mistake there from Josh LaRue as he went late on the brakes trying to fend off the attack there from Muberski. He got locked up, he went sideways, got the wheel turned left and tried to avoid a little bit of a contact, but unfortunately there was big contact between the two of them and they both dropped out of the top three. Coming to the checkered flag now, Geldenhuys 1 and 2. Brilliant stuff there from Gerard and Anton to stay out of harm's way. Change of surface and yellow flags being waved down into turn 5. This is Fostron corner, Cape Town corner as well, as it's known here at the Killarney International Raceway. And it's going to be a 1-2 for the Geldenhuys boys. The Abacus Racing Division's machine have been fantastic today. The man who was on pole is going to take it and convert it into his first win in the season, and of course his second win ever in Formula 1600s. As he comes to the line, he's followed very closely there by his brother, and on their tail will be a very happy Nicholas Van Wheelie, who's been gifted 3rd place in the Formula 1600s. Checkered flag is out, and it's Geldenhuys 1 and 2. What a start to the season from those two boys. They're going to be pumped, and they certainly are. Nicholas Van Wheelie comes through for 3rd place, and further down the pack, it's great driving coming out of Ian Schofield. He wraps up the Formula Fords. Geldenhuys, the top 2 ahead of Van Wheelie, Jason Kutsia and Josh LaRue, eventually in 5th place. Schofield beats out Morris. Welcome return there from the UK for him. Let's catch up now with Muberski.
Yeah, we had a pretty good race in the beginning. I was making progression through the field after a bit of a disappointing qualifying. Then on the a few laps to the end, I was going on a move for Josh LaRue into the last corner. I braked later than him. Was ahead going into the corner, and then unfortunately I got tagged from the rear and forced off the road. So not the way we would have liked to end the race, but we're going to try and get it fixed and go and win the second heat.
Welcome back to action from Cape Town and the Killarney International Raceway for round 1 of the Extreme Festival. Already seen some great action in heat number 1 of the Investchem Formula 1600s, and now we make our way back out onto the circuit for the second heat of the day for our single-seater category. On the front row, Josh LaRue will be looking to try and convert this time into a victory. He lost out right in the end with a touch with Jared Muberski, the man we go on board with here for the start. And it's a fantastic start from him as well as from Jared Geldenhuys. But look alongside, there goes Antoine. Antoine got outgun his brother by the looks of things down into turn 1. He's around the outside. Can he hang on? Yes, he can. What a bit of driving there from Anton Geldenhuys off the line like a rocket ship. And Delon Thompson, a much better start from him. He goes side by side with Jason Kutsia coming out of turn 1. Fantastic start there from everybody. Looks like we've all got through turn 1 unscathed, only just. And Muberski already going on the attack, and Geldenhuys having to go on the defensive. Around the outside comes Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie looking to get into the mix there, maybe move himself up ever so slightly higher. He got 3rd place in the first one. Oh, there's a touch! Oh, a big touch there. Could see by the looks of things coming together with Van Wheelie as they went into the kink just between the 2 corners there, and coming out of turn 2. A big moment there, and it looks like Van Wheelie's day is done. He was looking for a little bit of a conversion, as I was about to say, maybe a commentator's curse. Let's have a look at it here from Dolinchek's point of view. Coming into it, and Troy Dolinchek having a look. Watch on the right-hand side as he comes out. As they're going to the kink, there they go, flying into the dust and onto the World Rallycross circuit, in fact. That's not where you want to put a single-seater, boys, but unfortunately those two are basically out. Jason Kutsia and Nicholas Van Wheelie out of race number 2. Further back, that is Delon Thompson. As I said, welcome return to single-seater racing for him, and looking for an opportunity now to try and show what he's got. Coming out of karting, he was in Polo Cup for a little while, and now moved back into single-seaters, looking for a chance, as I said, to go out there with the best of the best. Speaking of the best of the best, a little mistake there coming out of the 12 car. Shren Naidu, first time out in the Race Driver SA and Investchem car, and spinning out down into Fostron corner. Trying to get it back on track. Ooh, getting onto the dirty stuff as well. That's not what. Speaking of dirty stuff, oh yes, there's a dirty move coming here on the inside from Antoine Geldenhuys on Muberski, forcing him wide, using the dirt on the main straightaway, and then just out-braking Muberski down into turn 1. Very, very attacking move and aggressive move coming out of Antoine. He's moved himself up into 3rd place. Goes on the attack now to try and catch his brother further back. This is a big move coming through as well, looking for a chance now. You can see Andrew Schofield in the mix there in the Fly SAF Air car. Delon Thompson getting in the mix as well. And you've got Alex Foss there too. Fantastic run from Taya van der Laan. Much better run from her this time as well. And looking like she's slowly but surely getting to grips with these single-seaters. As they come onto the short straight, up towards the double right-hand at Malmesbury. And this is where we see, it's just not even a lift, it's just a comfort lift before they climb on the anchors, onto the accelerator, I should say, and full everything she's got down the back straight away. Lieutenant Colonel Alamayer with some problems pulling to the sideline and out of harm's way, only just in time before the steam train made its way down towards Fastron. Onto the brakes. Andrew Schofield looking for a chance now to slow things down with the two cars behind him and try and go on the attack with the one just ahead. And this is a fantastic little battle happening here, I've got to tell you. One of the best we've seen all day long. Holtzhausen is definitely looking a little bit more comfortable. With that wing back on the car, he's definitely got a little bit more confidence in the car as well. Speaking of confidence, the Geldernace boys are high on that at the moment, and Weberski's looking to return the favour and possibly get back up onto the podium. He's got one car to try and negotiate through and find a way through on. Not always an easy thing to do, especially when you've had a podium already in your first time out. And that's why Antoine is making him work double time. Weberski looking very, very good at the moment though. Looks like the more comfortable of the two drivers. Remember, it's a lot easier to attack from behind than have to worry about the car behind you, because as you can see, Antoine is actually slowing himself down and bringing Weberski back into his clutches. And he's losing ground to his brother and to Josh Leroux up the road. As they come onto the double right-hand at Malmesbury, they've probably got about a 3.5 second lead there by the looks of things as they come onto that back straight away. It's brilliant stuff from the top two as they get away from the second two. They're fighting in twos here as they head down that back straight away. In the background, keep an eye out though. You can see Holtzhausen is slowly but surely making his way up. Dolenchek is in big trouble. Holtzhausen wants past and he's going to be closing down on Troy Dolenchek rapidly. Weberski doing a similar kind of move. The last time he did that, he ended up in tears and ended up in the Kirilitsa and out of the race. Very lucky to survive it on the second attempt as they come through side by side to complete another lap. That is brilliant stuff. Tucks in behind, and can he find a way now on the brakes? As he gets down into turn one, it's KFM corner, and there's going to be some late braking, but it came from Anton Geldernace. He was even later than Weberski. Weberski was looking at himself going, how did he get on the brakes so late? It looks like there might be a bit of a problem here on Weberski's car. You can hear there's a bit of a misfire in the car. It's not firing like it should. Car's flying past him. Troy Dolenchek is through, so is Holtzhausen. Look out for Andrew Schofield, possibly squeezed by him as well. I think Josh Leroux's got this all covered. He's now got a comfortable margin and he'll be able to hang on to that one. He's got a little bit of traffic to negotiate with the back end of the Formula Fords coming up on the back end of Graham Hepburn, who's fighting hard there with Duncan Foss. They'll probably see the quicker car and give him a little bit of room to play. Or he might have to squeeze between the two of them because Hepburn is going for a chance here. Foss has got his own little problems here with Hepburn on his outside, and he's got the leader coming up behind him. Where do you go in this kind of situation? Well, Foss sees it coming. Hepburn goes around the outside. He actually used the quicker car coming up to his advantage, but he just wasn't able to get by. But look at that, the cut back there from Hepburn. Now they're going to have to go around the outside. Hepburn sees him coming, and they're going to 3x3 onto the main straightaway. The checkered flag is on standby. It was very lucky from Josh Leroux's point of view that he didn't lose that ground, and he's taken a victory. He's going to be absolutely stoked with that. Leroux taking the win over Anton Geldernace. Another great day in the saddle for him. Dolenchek in third ahead of Holtzhausen and Gerard Geldernace there in fifth. Ian Schofield takes the Formula Fords, and we caught up with him after race number 2.
He had a great weekend this weekend at Killarney. Managed to qualify the car on pole. Both heats managed to win them. No major problems really. It was actually quite an easy weekend for once, which is very new, very rare. And I think in the second race we possibly got the lap record as well, which is great. So a big thank you to the team, the Investchem Formula Ford team. Done a super job for me this weekend, and really happy bringing on Swart Cups in a month's time.
Great drive for the second heat from Josh Leroux, taking the victory.
Starting pole, and then I knew I just had to keep the lead through turn 1, and then I knew if I could get away I'd have the win. And then I just kept it, finished first for the second race and third overall for the day, so I'm very happy with my performance, and I'm really excited to go to Swartkorps, being my home track. So just a big thanks to my mom and dad, to Investchem, to RDSA for everything they've been doing for me, and also Sparko for the new suit. Thank you very much.
Heading into Swartkorps, this is how the championship stands after round number 1. Antoine and Gerard Geldernace at the top, 16 and 14 points. Split evenly for third between Leroux, Van Wheelie and Dolenchek and Andrew Schofield. And then Jason Kutsia just behind them on 5 points.